A very game of time, Sonic Forces was an interesting situation for the Blue Blur to find himself in. A game with a good idea for a plot, but a horribly bland execution. Sonic Forces took an already shaky reputation and decided to turn a tremor into an earthquake. However, in the rubble it caused, there was one feature that stood out to many fans in the form of its customizable character, allowing Sonic fans to finally self-insert all of their wildest OCs into the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. However, as I played through the custom character stages, something always felt wrong, as if they didn't belong. And as if that wasn't enough, there was also something that didn't sit right on the cover of the game itself. I mean, you do have your standard trio, Classic Sonic, Modern Sonic, and Custom Character, everyone's favorite third member of Team Sonics. But what if, now follow along on this because it's a doozy, what if Custom Character wasn't meant to be in that place of Team Sonics and instead was maybe a third version of Sonic that maybe wasn't as well received by fans as Sega initially thought he would be? That of course being Sonic Boom Sonic. From the first trailer where Classic Sonic showed up, a wave of unease blossomed throughout the fandom. Why was this one and done character gimmick back within the next mainline boosting game? Which, on a side tangent, I think this is easily explained by the events of Sonic Generations. When Eggman brought Classic Sonic into the white space void of Generations, he unknowingly created a branching timeline where Classic Sonic exists separately from our green-eyed counterpart. This explains why in the Sonic Mania Plus YouTube shorts, we can see Classic Sonic transported back to his world, one forever trapped in the classic phase. A good way, or a good excuse, I should say, for being able to milk all of Classic Sonic's worth. However, back to the main topic, with the startling inclusion of Classic Sonic, it brought a lot of questions as to why he returned. Everyone's first answer is that Sega just wanted to rely on what they knew people liked, which still could be the case. However, I like the idea of the alternative. Seeing that Classic Sonic was pulled from another dimension from the power of the Phantom Ruby, would it be a far stretch that from another dimension, Boom Sonic could have made an appearance as the third playable character in this high-stakes story that would require all of Sonic's forces? We know from recent TalesTube videos and even Sonic Frontiers that this isn't the most far-out possibility, seeing that in TalesTube they referenced Sonic Boom in a discussion of alternate realities, and in Frontiers we got confirmation of Styx now being included into the mainline by mention of Amy, which is weird that characters from both IDW and Boom became canon in mainline continuity from nothing but possible dialogue Sonic could say on the Starfall Islands, and the last cutscene coming from Amy. Felt like that could have been a little more well implemented, but whatever the case, we know that in the grand scope of Sonic, Boom Sonic exists somewhere in the grand universe of anthropomorphic animals. From a gameplay perspective, I can see the vision they could have gone for with Modern Sonic retaining his boost formula and Classic with his spin dash. Then you have Boom Sonic, where I believe the stage structure could have been similar to the custom characters with the mix of 3D and 2D sections with the slower speed, so that his gameplay can be focused on his combat and traversal, like they tried to give him in his native game. Boom Sonic would be able to utilize the same whip the custom character had, as from Sonic Boom's start we see this seemingly important upgrade to our new sports tapes counterpart's arsenal. That was a tongue tire. This being one of the main things that led me to this thought process. This could have lent itself to a fun and unique third option for gameplay, if the game strived to meet that criteria. If you can't tell, I'm not the biggest fan of this game. You can also imagine that the team-up stages would have gone through some changes, although that double boost would have made a lot more sense with two Sonics rather than Sonic and some random bum Knuckles picked off the side of the streets. But going from speculation, which all of this is, into a fun gameplay change that this could have created, now that we have all three Sonics in this hypothetical game, what if the team stages played with all three characters instead of the two? Something that can control similar to Sonic Heroes, where you have to switch between your three Sonics depending on which gameplay style would fit the most in the situation. Say you have difficult platforming, just swap to Classic Sonic to turn 3D into 2D and help make those more precise jumps. Say you've got a long stretch of open fields that you want to quickly work your way through. Well, swap to Modern Sonic and boost to win like all modern haters think he's about. And finally, do you have points to swing from, or rather tough enemies? You can change to Boom Sonic and live out your dreams of being the Spider Hog. From a story standpoint, it would have been hit or miss in the fan base, just like every damn decision Sega makes about Sonic, good or obligatory 06 reference here. However, it would have given this grand scope to the importance of Eggman's takeover, where Sonic being defeated actually had an impact, and we play through a couple of stages with our other Sonics that were brought into the world as a balance to Eggman's tyrannical rule, brought to this once peaceful planet. To then later find our boosty Sonic on the Death Egg, and all three of them combining forces, Sonic forces, to bring peace back to this grief and terror-stricken world, leading to an epic final boss that could have led to all three hedgehogs going super together and finally taking back the freedom that belongs to everyone. Despite there being no way to truly tell if this was Sega's grand plan from the start, with this only being speculative, I still believe that there is a good chance that this could have at least been a somewhat idea to pass through the minds of Sega, and even though it wasn't my vision that we all got to play, yet, totally not something on my agenda when I learn how to make games, I'd like to think that people got more enjoyment out of creating their own characters than they would have from playing more Boom stages. With all that being said though, I've been a fan of this hedgehog for as long as I can remember. Like, I'm pretty sure I was born with a Sonic plush in my arms. So I really wanted to use my growing online presence to talk about the things I'm really passionate about, or just some stuff I've been speculating about, such as this. At the end of the day, this was just a fun video I wanted to make to talk about a possible different future this game could have, like, what it could have been, you know? And I hope that you found some enjoyment in this video as well. And if you did, please subscribe and like the video. Like, this is my first attempt at doing a scripted essay video, and if you want to see more like that, doing the subscribing thing helps out a lot in knowing that what I'm doing is like actually entertaining. And just as like a little sneak peek to some other ideas that I have, there is this video I want to do on a possible spin-off game involving Knuckles Chaotix, or just the Chaotix, that I would like to talk in more detail about in another video. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.